Good evening. Welcome to Pack Homer Pod, Season 3, Episode 2. Wesley's already laughing at me. We hadn't even got started yet. Got my buddies Adam and Wes here. Talk a little Pack baseball. Pack went 3-1 this week. 7-3 win over Winthrop. A 6-4 win over Princeton. A 16-1 win over Princeton. And then somehow a 1-0 shutout defeat yesterday in Game 2 of a doubleheader. To the Princeton Tigers, where we only mustered 3 hits. Let's start with the Winthrop game. We were all 3 in attendance for the home opener at the Doak. Fellas, first let's start. There's been a lot of improvements at the stadium, but they're obviously not done. What did you guys think about the things that you see that they're doing at the Doak, and where you think this thing ends up? We'll start with you, Wes.
Man, I was excited to see Boo and the Chancellor at the game. You know, they made some improvements down the first base line. They added some what they call field box seating, and I actually like the view from that section. So it's always exciting to see the Chancellor and the athletic director there. I think that we're going to continue to see improvements and investment in the baseball program, and why not after all these years of winning? So that was exciting to see both those guys out there.
Adam?
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought it was nice to finally see some of the stuff we've been talking about for years finally, be in a usable form. Like Wes mentioned, the new field boxes are going to be nice, especially they're going to have their own, once they get their own bathroom down there. Now it's a little bit, you got to check out of the field box to go to the bathroom, but it'll be there soon. But yeah, I agree. It was good to see the Chancellor and Boo there. Chancellor threw out the first pitch. We gave him a little bit of a hard time about his performance on the mound. So, and when he was leaving, Boo told him, "Thanks for coming, boss." Uh, I think Boo's a very chain of command kind of guy, and yeah, it was good. Seemed like, honestly, for a Wednesday afternoon, cold Wednesday afternoon, I thought it was a pretty decent turnout. Really, there's probably more people there than I was expecting, but again, I always want more support. While we're on that subject, I went to a game this afternoon in Jacksonville. I went to the LSU UCF game, and I don't know how many that stadium holds, but there was a pile of LSU fans that made the trip to Jacksonville to support their baseball program. So I just hope one day we can get that kind of following, because it's pretty special.
Was it any warmer there this year than last year when we were there?
Good God, man. It was cold today. It's cold and windy. Yeah, it was
Really?
yeah.
A repeat.
It wasn't as cold as I would say as last year, but man, it was cold. They were selling sweatshirts and people going into the Jumbo Shrimp merch shop buying beach towels to use as blankets. I saw a bunch of them all over the stadium, and yeah, it was pretty cold.
Hey, just because I had one positive, I gotta throw in one negative. Our little apparel tent. Jesus, I wouldn't wear that in the chicken house. Hey, whoever is deciding on the t-shirts and the hats. I mean, I seriously wouldn't wear that in the chicken house. So there's some improvement to be made on the apparel side at the in-game apparel. My God.
They would be better off. They honestly would be better off not even having anything.
Yeah,
just let the red and white shop come out there and set up a tent.
Yeah, the red and white shop has got all the stuff. Yeah, they just need to let them come out there.
Or just don't waste.
Maybe just put
time.
put a QR code to the red and white shop or something.
Holy smokes! It is embarrassingly bad, the apparel tent at the NC State baseball game.
Yeah.
Well, luckily we don't. We're just giving Chancellor Howell a hard time. I love that Chancellor Howell loves Wolfpack athletics, and luckily we don't need him to pitch for us. We did have some impressive outings on the mound. Let's just blow through the Winthrop game real quick. 1-7-3. Ty Head got his first hit of the season, hit one in the trees. Drew Lanphier had a big home run late in the sixth inning in that game to give us the lead for good. We went up 5-3 in the sixth. Luke Nixon had a big game, went 3 for 4. A lot of different guys. We saw action from a lot of different guys in that game. Frazeman hit one, I think it might have hit their bus, but hit 3 home runs in the game. Ran the bases. Played pretty clean baseball game overall. But I want to talk about the pitchers real quick because it was the first start of the season for Heath Andrews. Probably didn't go quite the way that we would have hoped. He went 3 1/3, gave up 5 hits, 3 earned, struck out 2, walked a couple. Hit a guy. So I still think from who the third starter is, I think that question's been floated around a lot in Wolfpack baseball fan land. I don't think that's settled. I think that we probably have strong opinions we can talk about later, but I don't think that's been settled. I thought Luke Hemrick, man, every time he goes out there, he impresses me. He threw 2 1/3, punched out 3, gave up 1 hit. He's another one of those. He's a young freshman kid. He plays a lot of emotion. Looked good. Anderson Nance, 2 1/3, punched out 2, 1 hit. And then Consiglio, who is actually the Game 3 starter this weekend, came in and threw 1 inning, kind of like a bullpen for him. But a clean inning, punched out 2, no hits. After Heath handed it over in the fourth, I thought Hemrick, Nance, and Consiglio were, everything you could ask for. 5 2/3, 2 hits, and 7 strikeouts between them. So I think that's something we'll continue to talk about, what we do with that third starting spot in the rotation on the weekend. But we did a lot of good things in the game. I mean, we still weren't as clean probably as we'd like to be defensively. We only punched out twice at the plate, but we did make an error in the field. But anyway, 1-7-3 in a midweek. Midweeks hadn't been something we could take for granted here the last couple of years. We kind of struggled a few times in the midweek. Winthrop had a kid in the ninth throwing 97. So, I think that was another one of the things that stood out to me in that game is that you're playing Winthrop in a midweek game, and they bring a kid in throwing 97. I mean, that's where Division I baseball is now, which kind of explains, not that we're going to make any excuse for that 1-0 loss yesterday. That was just abysmal. To think that there's not talent on every roster would be wrong because Winthrop rolls in here with a guy throwing 97 on Wednesday. So anyway, let's get to the Prince. Go ahead.
I guess he was a guy that was at Coastal, right? The kid that
I think that is what I heard. And he was Dylan Hanson. He's a Coastal transfer. I had a hard time throwing strikes there, but he threw 10 out of 14 strikes against us, and he was running it up there.
I was just going to say about Hemrick. He came in for Andrews with a couple guys on, and then walked the guy on 4 pitches to load the bases, and then in a tie ball game, and then struck out the side. Or struck out the last 2. So I thought that was a pretty tough spot for the youngster, and like you said, a lot of emotion. Looked good in that moment. So happy to see that.
And that's one of those big time spots for a freshman that it can derail your whole season from a confidence perspective, or you get to build confidence. And Aiden Kitchens had one of those moments as well this weekend. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But yeah, I mean, one of those big moments for Hemrick, and he got the job done. All right, so Princeton game 1. Princeton just is not a very offensive baseball team, but we made 2 errors. Home pitched well. He gave up 1 earned in 5 innings. He would have liked to have pitched a little better. I know. I think he gave up more hits than he probably would have liked. He gave up 4 hits in 5, walked a couple, which normally doesn't walk a lot of guys. Took him 89 pitches to get through 5. So not like your typical Marone outing. I mean, I don't know if he would be happy with that outing versus Clemson, because he likes to go 7 every time he goes out there. But still, plenty good enough for the win. or plenty good enough stuff for the win, but it ended up being a pretty close ball game. Marone doesn't get the win in this game. I don't believe. I think the winning pitcher ended up being Aiden Kitchens. Is that right? I think. Yeah. So through 5, we were in a 2-2 ball game, and we ended up scoring 4 runs in the 8th. We got home runs out of McHugh, Bargo in that ball game. Nixon had hit a double in the game. Drove in, did not drive in, or scored a run. Anyway, punched out a couple of times. I'm sorry. I'm going through the box score here, trying to remember what the hell happened. I apologize. But anyway, that game was a ball game till late. Kitchens got himself in a really, really tight spot. He came in, kind of looked like Wild Thing there for a second. And then
Collins Black got the win, by the way.
Black got the win. Okay. So Kitchens comes in and throws the 6 and 7, but got himself in a jam early. I think, did he get the bases loaded? He put a few guys on. He had a walk, gave up a hit, and did the same exact thing that Hemrick did. Comes and pitches all the way back out of it. Strands base runners, and ended up with 3 punch outs in 2 innings. And then Collins Black came in. We were up 6-2 when he threw the 9th, and he gave up a 2-run home run that bounced off the top of the wall and went over. But Black, we should have been out of the. Black gives up no run runs because we booted a ball behind him. It's coming back to me now. We booted a ball. We didn't boot it. We actually had a ground ball to third base that we threw in the dirt and weren't able to pick, and ended up giving up a 2-run home run. But we've heard about Black's stuff. Black had 6 strikeouts in 2 innings. So should have had 5. Should have had 5 and a ground out. But anyway, he punches out 6. We win that game 6-4. And that at the time pushes us to 4-0. And we go into Saturday feeling pretty good. First game yesterday, we put up 16 runs. Jacob Duden, unfreaking believable yesterday. I want to talk about this a little bit because, we have been. Go ahead, Adam.
No, sorry. I guess I got a little bit of a delay. I apologize. Sounds like
what you got?
Delay on my. I said it sounds like there's a delay on my end or on your end. I'm sorry. I was just going to say back to Collins Black. How did he give up a home run and have no earned runs? Because I see that on the box score too. Is it because
it would have been the 3rd out of the inning?
I got you. Okay,
I
didn't realize that.
Yeah, should have ended the inning.
Okay.
Yep, should have ended the inning on the out, and then he gives up a 2-run home run.
I got you. I'm following.
It bounced off top of the wall. Yep, no worries. So anyway, we win the second game 16-1, and I don't want it to be lost on anyone that listens how incredible Jacob Duden was yesterday. He was unbelievable. 65 out of 87 pitches for strikes, no walks. I mean, you guys have heard us talk. Is he going to throw a bunch of sliders? Is he going to walk guys? Is he going to have 30 pitch innings? He was perfect forever. And they hit a ground ball in the hole that was maybe not even a 50-50 ball. It was a really tough play for Mikey to have to make. But they get an infield single. I think they had 2 infield singles and a sawed-off slap shot into left field. But he goes 7 innings, 3 hits, 11 strikeouts, and 65 out of 87 pitches for strikes. What do you guys think about Dude? I mean, that's as good as I've ever seen him. He can't ask. I mean, he could have thrown 2 more innings. He was absolutely cruising. 97 in the 7th inning, 90-mile-an-hour slider in the 7th inning. I mean, he was just doing whatever he wanted.
He was fun to watch.
I didn't get a watch, unfortunately, so I have to read the box score on this one. I had opening day myself yesterday, so I didn't get to watch Duden's performance, but just all the clips I saw online and reading about, and a lot of tweets about it, and from what you guys have said, it sure looked mighty impressive.
Danny Heights came in behind him. Heights, guys might remember, was a transfer from Alabama. It didn't pitch last season. I actually thought he looked really good. Just another depth piece in the pen. Landon Carr, he kind of had a rough ending, three walks and a hit, and kind of gave up the shutout. But We won 16-1. Brett Johnson hit the first home run of his career. Actually, his first hit of his career was a home run. Devin Mitchell homered in that game. Chris McHugh homered. Just, offensive baseball game where I thought we were going to play 10-run rule ball. We didn't. We were up by 10 runs. I think Ty Hill was celebrating and Drillian Fear was shaking hands with the umpire, but we played a couple more innings. Christian Serrano got some action. I didn't even know Christian Serrano was going to play this year. I thought maybe we were playing in the red shirty. Serrano goes 1 for 2. He actually is an impressive looking kid too. I mean, in the field, he looked good. He looked good at the plate. Obviously, you worry about a kid that shows up midseason. Maybe he's a little overmatched, but I thought Serrano looked really good. Quinn Bentley got his first action. Pretty much everybody played. Devin Mitchell, we've heard a lot about Devin Mitchell. He's 100 mile an hour from the outfield. He can hit it a mile. He homered in that game. I mean, a lot of good things in that ball game for NC State. Certainly not for Princeton. Go ahead, Adam.
As my dad would have said, it would have been nice to turn the spigot off and save some for game 2.
So let's go to game 2. Then we got some other things to talk about. But in game 2, Consiglio goes out. He's phenomenal, guys. He goes 5 innings, gives up 2 hits, gives up a home run, gives up a solo shot, punches out 6. Garino, another kid we heard about in the offseason, transfer from South Carolina. He looked really good. Truett Manuel, real deal, comes in throwing 97. We could not, for the life of us, scratch any runs. We had 3 hits the entire game. Ty Head had 2. Chris McHugh had a single. We just, I have no idea. I can't explain it. They ran 2 freshmen out there and they just shoved it up our tails. And in the 9th, we get a leadoff double from Ty Head, down 1-0 in the bottom of the ninth. You got Luke coming up. You kind of feel like we might bunt him to third or maybe bunt for a hit and hope they throw it in the right field. But he pops out, and then Frazeman and Bargo strike out. Just wasn't our day. I mean, it was just ugly. It was just an ugly loss. There's no way around it. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Consiglio pitched plenty good enough to win. We gave up 12 hits all weekend. To Adam's point about the spigot, we had 16 hits in game 2. We gave up 12 hits all weekend and only win 2 out of 3 games in the series. Yesterday, we outscored them 16-2 and split. It's kind of hard to do. Honestly, the second game for us offensively was ugly. So it gives us a lot to talk about. I do want to say, going back to Consiglio, Marone, and Duden, Consiglio, Marone, and Duden combined for 17 innings this weekend, 25 strikeouts, 9 hits, 3 walks, 2 earned runs. So you're going to take that all day, every day from your 3 weekend guys. I think if there is a legit battle going on for the 3rd spot in the rotation, Consiglio definitely bowed his chest yesterday. Obviously, Princeton struggles offensively, but he was really good. I want to talk about what we do from a lineup standpoint now, because we went 3-1 this week. Everybody knows that. That's over. But before we talk about next week, there's a lot of conversation about it's hard to write a lineup card with the team we have, and I think that is a good problem. But one of the things I was sharing with you guys, and I don't want you guys to think that, we lose to Princeton. Oh, my God, it's bad for our RPI. None of that shit matters. If we win 18 games in the ACC, the loss to Princeton is going to be an afterthought. So if we just do what we're supposed to do, we're going to be all right. But I think Texas A&M this weekend over Penn, another Ivy League school, they won 1-0 and 2-1 in the first 2 games, and I think they might have won both of them on walk-offs. Kent State beat Tennessee in a series this weekend. Clemson played 3 2-run ball games against Bryant. Georgia Tech squeaked one out 6-5 over 0-7 Stony Brook. So Division I baseball, it's hard to sweep every weekend, even though we are disappointed. But getting back to the lineup, one of the things I told you guys before we came on is that Avent is going to, if you look back historically, we're going to start we're going to start 8 or 9 guys 50 games. That's just what we do. If you look back in 2021 when we went to College World Series, we had 9 guys that made 50-plus starts. If you look at 2013, you guys might remember that, with Rodon and Turner, we had 9 guys make 46-plus starts. In 2024, the last time we were in Omaha, we had 6 guys make 50 starts. The 3 guys that started a lot that did not make 50 starts were Josh Hogue, Noah Souls, and Alex Sosa. The only reason they didn't make 50 starts is because Hogue broke his leg. Sosa had mono. Can we say that now? I guess everybody knew he had it then. Anyway, Sosa was coming back from mono, and Souls got hurt. And Souls got, I think I remember talking about that now back in season 1. And Souls got hurt early in the year, or you would have had 9 guys make 50 starts. So where I'm going with this is we've played now, I think every single warm body on our roster has played. We're about, even though we're only 6 games into the season, if history repeats itself, we're about to start penciling the same 9 guys in an awful lot. I think that if you look at it from an objective standpoint, I think we can probably all agree that Chris McHugh, Luke Nixon, Dalton Bargo, Drew Lamphere, Ty Head, Braden Fraseman, that's 6 guys that are going to start almost every game. Lamphere might be a little bit different situation because he's a catcher, and I don't think you'll necessarily see him DH like Sosa did on his day off. But those are 6 guys that are going to play an awful lot. I think that, Mikey Ryan, who started 6 games at shortstop, I think, there's been a little bit of conversation on, is that what we're going to do every day? I mean, they've obviously given him a lot of rope. I kind of lean to that they're going to still stick with Mikey and keep running him out there. I don't know. At third base, I think that's a conversation. So I'm just going to go over where, guys, I think we have a conversation. Then we'll actually come back and have the conversation. But I think third base, is it Wyatt Pfeiffer or is it Sherman Johnson? And then in the outfield, obviously in left field, we got the freshman, Rhett Johnson. We got Andrew Wiggins. We have Braden Fraseman in right, which I feel like Fraseman is pretty safe out there. He's got a lot of rope, and he's earned it. And Ty Head's going to start every day. I mean, Ty Head might have went over in Puerto Rico, but obviously we're going to keep running him back out there because he's a phenomenal piece to have at the top of the lineup and to play center field for you. So if you narrow it down to that, I guess our conversation would be around shortstop, third base, and the outfield. Who the third outfielder is. So let's start with third base. So we got Pfeiffer and Johnson. I'd love you guys' take. I'll start to make it easy for you. I really, really like Wyatt Pfeiffer. He's hitting .500. I think that job is so up in there. I don't think we have made a decision yet, but I think we're getting close. Sherman Johnson is actually a guy that can play third base, shortstop, and second base. He's played all 3. What do you guys think is going to ultimately happen over there at third base?
I mean, I think that was probably the most disappointing thing about the 1-0 loss to Princeton, or the whole weekend, that left side of the field, whether it be shortstop, third base, left field, nobody really broke out and said, okay, this is my spot. Who cares about February baseball? Now, I will say that the catch Brett Johnson made against Winthrop as he crashed into the wall and then turned the double play probably, at least in my book, stamped him as a starting starting left fielder the rest of the year. But I mean, there's still a lot to play out. But I like Pfeiffer's defense a lot. He's a bit, but I mean, we talk about Pfeiffer batting .500, but Johnson's batting .400. I mean, it's not like Johnson's not showing up either. So I mean, really, you look at shortstop, Mikey Ryan struck out 5 times, but also Luke struck out. So I mean, it's early in the year. It's a little too early to say, but I would say that I like Pfeiffer at third, and I don't see any situation where Rhett Johnson's not going to be the everyday left fielder.
So you jumped to left field on us. I was going to say Pfeiffer. Another thing I like about Pfeiffer is he's a switch hitter. He hadn't punched out. And I feel like, I know Sherman's hitting .400. I'm not taking anything away from Sherman, but I feel like Pfeiffer's he's put better swings on more balls, in my opinion. There's a difference in outs and loud outs. But I do think that obviously Sherman's got a lot of upside, but I think that obviously hadn't been decided yet. But I kind of lean toward Piper. Adam.
I agree. I like Piper too. I just think overall it seems um, we've just been a little shakier on defense than I think. I'm sure that any of the staff likes that we like. Uh, on base percentage is 643. He's also drawn 4 walks. That and the 643 obviously leads the team. So short, small group of data set, but I think early on I really like Pfeiffer look at third. I mean, I know he booted one, I guess, but um, yeah. My early take is I do like him over there.
Yeah, he seems to have a lot of range. I mean, I know that like the book on him is he was one of the best defensive third basemen in the country when he was at James Madison, and then we're wondering if he's going to hit, but it's not like he's never hit. I think he hit over 300 as a sophomore at James Madison. We saw him in the regional there in Raleigh. He's a veteran. Kind of gives me. I don't think he's going to hit 24 home runs like AMAC, but he kind of gives you that little AMAC vibe, that old grizzled leader in the clubhouse kind of guy that's been around the block and yeah, I really like what he brings defensively. So I kind of lean toward Pfeiffer, but I don't think that one's decided yet. Then we go to left field. There's obviously, I mean, I've been on another podcast where we had this discussion with Greg Haas on the I think it was it was me, Greg, and Ethan on a preseason pod. And, there's a lot of debate over do you start Andrew Wiggins or do you start Rhett Johnson? I mean, I think we have some folks that are like, oh, man, Rhett's struggling. He's 143. He's only punched out one time, guys. You don't have a bad weekend and just get, thrown to the coal pile forever. But I do think that is a discussion because I think Wiggins projects as a draft guy. Probably Rhett does, too, eventually project as a draft guy. But, Wesley, you mentioned the catch he made in left field. The reason I'm kind of leaning toward Rhett right now is because Elliott, who has 1,300 wins, I want to be clear about something that, if you're just casually observing, maybe you don't realize since, Rhett didn't start in Puerto Rico when he was injured. Rhett won the job in the fall. I don't think there's any question that he had already won the job. Like, I think that's where there's like some disconnect when I read on some message boards and stuff. Rhett won the job. He hit leadoff against Carolina and Wake Forest in the fall. He would have started game one, but he was injured. And so, he gets reacclimated. Obviously, Wiggins is very talented. Hit a home run down in Puerto Rico. Big kid, left-handed bat, just like Johnson. I know that, you stand them beside each other, and Wiggins looks like a big leaguer, and, Johnson's, 160 pounds soaking wet. But I don't know that I've seen either one of them play enough to say definitively like this is the guy, but I really think that it's going to be Rhett Johnson, and I really like Rhett Johnson. He can run. He's a great, I don't know how you land the ball between him and Ty Head in the outfield. So what are your thoughts on that battle?
I personally don't see it really being a battle. I agree with all the things you said. I think Rhett has obviously earned the starting job, long before the first games. Like I said, he didn't play the first two, obviously, but he would have. So yeah, I don't really see it being a battle for a job at this point. I think it's pretty. At this point, I would be surprised. I mean, again, going back, I've said it a couple times, going back to some of the preseason conversations that Avent had, he made mention that, Rhett Johnson was the player that impressed him the most coming out of the fall. So um, I think it's his.
Wesley?
Yeah, just like you said, Cal. I mean, hell, it speaks volumes that Avent's putting him out there as a true freshman. So I think that my take is that Rhett Johnson's probably going to be a special player here in the next 3 years in Raleigh. Hopefully, we can keep him for 3 years in Raleigh, but he's probably going
Yeah.
to be a special player. And for anybody that hasn't been to the ballpark and saw the kid run, and of course, we happened to be there on Wednesday when he made the catch in left field and then turned the double play. It's pretty easy to tell that he's special.
Yeah. So I guess
Nothing against Wiggins either. I mean, that's not downplaying Wiggins by any means.
Yeah, so I guess what I'd say is that we obviously have kind of a soft schedule here over the next couple weeks, and before the message boards go crazy, I would just say I think that because I've read some of the stuff on Twitter and the message boards, I think you're going to see Rhett Johnson some more, whether you want to or not. And I think if you just give him some time, I think that you're going to be happy with your ROI. That's where I'm at right now. And if it doesn't work out, I mean, between Devin Mitchell, Drew Wiggins, Rono, McEwen left, I think we're fine, guys. We got a lot of pieces. But that just seems to be a hot button topic. Like, why are we still running this kid out in left field? We're running him out in left field because Coach Avian, who's won 1,300 games, thinks he's pretty damn good. That's why we keep running him out there. I'll let them make that decision. But, it is hard. I mean, when you go look at all the kids we've played, I mean, we haven't ran anybody out there that I'm like, gosh, this is atrocious and hard to watch. So, it might take a little while to sort it out and what it looks like every day. But I think that it won't be long before Avent follows his normal cadence, and we're going to see the same 9 guys a lot. So we'll see. Anything else on the lineup? I know we talked a little bit about shortstop. I guess we've been a little bit underwhelmed. We want to be a little bit sharper defensively. I think us three, we've kind of juggled that around a little bit. I think we said early on the first season, I think I said, or we said on the first podcast this season that, hey, I think they're going to run Mikey Ryan out there a lot. So you might as well just get used to seeing him. I think so far that's been right. He started all 6 games. A couple years, was it a couple years ago where we started Peyton Green for a while at shortstop and then moved him to third base? I think, didn't we do that in the last year Peyton Green was in Raleigh? We made a change. But I don't think we're to that point yet. I think, Mikey obviously didn't play a whole lot of baseball last year at LSU for good reason. But I don't know. I think the left side of the infield is probably the least solidified part on this roster. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
100%.
All right. Let's go to rotation real quick. We know Marone and Duden. You can go ahead and write that down unless something catastrophic happens that we just prayed on. Number 3 spot in the rotation. For a while, I was kind of the opinion that there's no way that Nance can be that guy because he's just too valuable out of the bullpen. But then now I really, really like what we got in the bullpen when you have Aiden Kitchens and Hemrick. And, I really, 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 really like Mr. Manuel, Truett Manuel. And you saw Garino this weekend. We got Collins Black, Eisel. We've ran out like 5 or 6 guys that hadn't given up a run yet, which makes you feel a lot better about where we are from a pitching standpoint. So I guess it's fair to bring Nance into the conversation. I kind of lean that Nance is going to stay in the bullpen just because he's so valuable in what he brings you there. Is it a 3-man race for the 3rd spot in the rotation? Is it a 4-man race? I would tell you that if it's a 4-man race, I think it's between Andrews, Consiglio, Hemrick, and Nance. Would you guys agree with that? It's a 4-man.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see what we do this week. We got 5 games, right? I do think that it's, in my opinion, is probably going to be, especially based on the performances, this week. I would be surprised if it's not Consiglio in the weekend rotation. So, I do think it'll be Andrews again, and one of these 2 midweek games. Be interesting to see who we start the other one.
Yeah, will it be Hemrick or Nance? Yeah, I think that's because Nance didn't throw this weekend. So you kind of wonder if they're saving him for a midweek start. So we
which I would like to see. I mean, I would be. I mean, this time of the year, I mean, it'd be nice to have him available for the weekends, but also for his sake, I wouldn't mind him getting an opportunity to start one of these midweek games.
yeah, I
Just
wouldn't
can't.
either.
I can't remember a time that we have this much depth where we can actually have this conversation.
100%, I
Like
agree.
when you're going down the arms, you're like, wow, that's I mean, this the depth is impressive for what compared to the last several years from a pitching
Well,
standpoint.
and Manuel between Manuel and Kitchens and Hemrick, I mean, those are pieces that we heard a lot about, or come in with high praises and grades or whatever you might say, and so far they're living up to the hype.
Yeah, more.
Manuel really looks impressive to me. I did get to see that. That was some of the only live ball I got to watch this weekend, or on Saturday, I should say. So really looks impressive. I
True
like
Emmanuel's
his.
gonna hit 100 when he gets warm.
Yeah, yeah. He's. I heard the stat they said during the broadcast. Cal, you probably didn't hear it, but he had, in high school, he pitched 178 innings or something like that, and had like a point something ERA. I mean, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, he looks the part of a dude right now. So
Where is he
um,
from? I don't even know where he's from.
I think
He's
is he
from,
from West Henderson or
yeah, somewhere in the western part of the state. Yeah,
yeah, and he is a 6'2", 206-pound right-hander from West Henderson. 179 innings in high school, 343 strikeouts, 1.06 ERA. Had a perfect game and two no hitters in high school. Yeah, that's
yeah.
he was actually the 2023-2024 North Carolina Male Athlete of the Year.
Wow.
Wow.
All state. He's a state champion and all state baseball player 3 times. And he's one of those kids we didn't get to see last year because he was recovering from injury. But I think Manuel is going to be he's gonna have a large role, I think, with this team. I mean, really excited. Some of the younger guys have come in and walked some dudes, and obviously we hate walks. But you look at Collins Black, 6-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. You look at Marone's at 14-3 right now. Duden's at 13-0 strikeout to walk. Kitchens is at 7-2. I mean, we got some dudes, and
Yeah.
we talk about how hard it is to write the lineup. I mean, life is a lot more fun when you don't wonder, if you got anybody out there in the bullpen that can go to the plate. I feel like for the last 2 or 3 years, we've been a two-man show at the pen. Last year we had some injuries last year that caused that, but last year it was, Schaffner and Duden. The year before that, it was Duden and D-Rock. Shane Van Dam was, of course, injured last year, but and Consiglio, the year before gave us some minutes out of the pen. But man, we got a lot of pieces in the bullpen right now, so that's really dang exciting, and
Yes, it is.
I think a welcome sign. All right, let's talk about the midweeks real quick, and then we'll jump to Sacred Heart and wrap this thing up. But so this week in the midweek, we have Richmond on Tuesday, 3:00 start. Richmond right now is 5-3. They just won 2 out of 3 over Penn State this weekend. They were picked 7th in the preseason. They have a guy named Dylan Weinenbrenner who is hitting .433 with 4 home runs. Another fun fact about the Spiders is they have a kid with the last name Elko. I think it's actually Michael Elko, Mike Elko. Anyway, his dad is the head football coach, former head coach at Duke. Now he's the head coach at Texas A&M. So,
Damn, he's still
didn't
there. He had a good year last year.
yeah, he's still there. Elko is.
Well, he just got there. I mean, he's only
No,
been there,
he
what,
was
2
there.
years?
He was there last year, yeah, but he had a good year last year.
Who you talking about at Richmond? Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Elko being at Texas A&M.
Oh,
I thought sorry.
he was a good player last year.
I remember hearing about him last year too. Yes.
Last year, Richmond came in and beat us 5-1 in the midweek.
And they looked better than we did. I remember
They did.
They were a better team. That wasn't even close.
Well, we thought so at the time, and then at the end of the year, just come to find out we didn't really play that well. We weren't playing very well early in the season. They did end up winning 33 games last year. They went 33-19, and your guy Elko last year for him, Wesley, he hit 318 with 5 home runs last year. Michael Elko. So anyway, got the Spiders. I mean, it'll be, I think it'll be a very similar to that Winthrop matchup. I think it'll be a fair test. I don't think we can overlook anybody after getting shut out by Princeton.
Two freshman pitchers.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know if those Princeton boys would want to transfer to NC State, but
They sure take that first one.
Yeah, we might want to look into that because them 2 freshmen they ran out there looked pretty good. I guess last week when we were
Kaufman.
Didn't Ken say the starter never gave up a run during his senior year of high school?
Hell, I don't know, but I know last week we were sitting there picking on him, and my man came out there and just shoved it up our tails. The second guy, Ryan Penny, that threw for him, he was also a very accomplished. He's very accomplished member in the band. He was a 4-year member.
He looked like he was in the band. God dang, that's what I was shook up about. The way he looked, and couldn't nobody hit him. I'm like, good. You got to screech out there on the mound, and then we can't even hit the damn ball.
The way he made what was that? Phraseman embargo?
Yeah, got screech out there on the damn mound with glasses on.
He was a four-year member of the symphony orchestra and earned first chair and shoved it up our rear end. So hats off to Ryan Penny from Scottsdale, Arizona. We might need to look into him. But anyway, yes, I can't overlook the Spiders, who did beat us 5-1 last year at the Doak. And then we have Akron. I think Akron is our Wednesday game. Akron is 3-4 right now. They're picked 9th in the preseason in the MAC, coming off a 20-34 season. Probably a decent midweek matchup again. Kind of be interesting to see who starts. And then coming to town from Connecticut on the weekend is Sacred Heart. And I haven't really done
Did you have to look that up, or you knew Sacred Heart was in Connecticut?
Of course I looked it up. I'm a professional.
I had no clue they were in Connecticut.
No stone unturned. Anyway,
1-5.
Sacred Heart comes in at 1-5. They've played a weekend series with North Florida and East Tennessee State. East Tennessee State beat them 26-3 in Game 2. Then had an 11-8 nail biter Game 3 of that series this weekend. But Sacred Heart comes in hitting 96 as a team, which don't mean anything because I think Princeton right now is hitting. They can't be hitting a whole lot as a team after this weekend. They hit Princeton's hitting 130 as a team right now, boys, and they're 1-2. They hit 130 on the weekend. Hell, I wish I hadn't even looked this up.
What do you think? So after we got through making the schedule and we said Princeton, Sacred Heart, Lafayette, yes, that's it. We got. I mean, my God, what are we doing? And then BC, what are we doing?
I guess because we have good midweek competition, but that's a little underwhelming, isn't it?
It's pretty underwhelming. Yeah.
What does that mean? Good midweek. I mean, yeah, it's North Carolina. It's everybody in North Carolina and South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida and Texas, Louisiana have good midweek competition. What the hell? What does that even mean?
Well, Sacred Heart. Give me that mascot again, Adam.
The Pioneers.
The Pioneers got twin brothers, Gavin and Ronan Donahue. who I think they like to swipe a few bags here and there, but they are led by those twin brothers. Right now, Ronan's hitting 238 and Gavin's hitting 143. But I do think last year both of them had a respectable season. It looks like Gavin hit 327 last year and hit 7 home runs. But
against who?
but,
Jesus Christ.
Lehigh.
but Sacred Heart is a team that we hope that we don't come back next week giving y'all excuses about, why D1 baseball is hard and, we won the series. We need to win 5 this week, boys. You agree?
Whatever.
Wesley's just over it. He's over it. Anything y'all want to add about Sacred Heart?
I think we do need to win 5 this week for sure.
Yeah, I think that's the storyline this week. We need to win 5 games. We need to figure out who we're going to run out there every day by the time ACC play comes around. Obviously, next weekend will be when we start to really, set our rotation for that Boston College series that's 2 weeks away. The following weekend we have Lafayette, and Lafayette, all they did this weekend was give up 73 runs in a 4-game series at Miami.
Do we find the worst teams in the country that possible to schedule a series with?
They lost 30-5 today to Miami.
Solid.
We need to win out. We need to win out until BC. Oh, God.
Do got Coastal mixed in there after Sacred Heart. We got Coastal the following Tuesday. And then we got Lafayette 3 times, Elon, and the Boston College Eagles. So
Boston College at home.
Boston College is at home. Then we go down to UNCW, and then we go to Tallahassee. So it's going to get real pretty quick. A month from
it got real this weekend. Man.
Got real yesterday.
Game 1 and Game 3.
got real yesterday afternoon. But I guess our pod tonight was reactions and overreactions. I think we're fine. I mean, obviously, it's going to be how many ACC games wins we can string together. But I mean, you got to think like yesterday leaves a sour taste in the fella's mouth, wouldn't you? I mean, you got to. Like, if you got any respect.
Yeah, nobody cares. I mean, February baseball doesn't mean anything. Again, I wish that whatever the positions that are open, that somebody would have stepped up this weekend and said, I'm gonna take over that position. But there's several more series before we get to BC, so I get it.
The Washington Huskies are still reeling, boys. They're 1-6 now. After being picked to have a pretty good season, they lost 2 out of 3 to Loyola Marymount this weekend, and Indiana State. If we're looking back, Indiana State actually won 2 out of 3 this weekend. They're 3-4, and what did Winthrop do this weekend? Winthrop swept Morehead State, so they're up to 5-2. Anyway,
wow.
Y'all see the? Go ahead.
No, keep going. Go ahead.
I was going to say, did y'all see that the UNC ECU series ended in a tie? Did y'all catch that?
Yeah, the game got rained out.
That's the most Carolina thing I ever seen in my damn life. ECU fan, wait, I'm not even gonna get in there. But they're ready to jump off of Godwin's ship after Friday night, and then now everything's good again.
Yeah, they're about to throw him out. Man, so Wake Forest got pushed to the wall against Siena the other night too. I don't know if I actually watched that game. Go ahead, Adam.
You did. You told me that. I was going to say our RPI sits at 121 right now.
Dang, I didn't even know that information was readily available yet.
So Cal, you're a former athletic director for the we're in the third season now, so probably a lot of the 10 listeners don't know that. Why can't we not just schedule so if we're thinking like
Boo
quad one,
Corrigan
quad
knows
two,
that.
quad three, quad four, why can't we schedule a quad two team or whatever? I mean, what is the deal with these I mean, I get it, but I mean, if we're gonna be at the level we want to be from a program standpoint, give the fans a series to watch in the early season.
How is the Princeton loss is currently a Q1 loss?
God. It won't be very long.
No, I agree.
I tell you what, though, those two pitchers, when they go to Duke next weekend, Duke might raid the coffers and grab those two cats from yesterday.
Well, they play Duke 4 times, right, this week.
Yeah, they do.
Really?
Yeah, they played Duke 4 times this week. Yeah, they might
going back home.
Those two freshmen, their baseball team might improve and their marching band.
They're going to take an official visit while they're in Durham next week. Anyway, I think we beat it at nauseum. We'll holler at you guys next week. Any final thoughts? We were sitting right there with Boo, and we didn't get a price for our logo on the wall. So if anybody out there wants to maybe shoot Adam an email.
We did respond to emails this week, by the way. So we're all caught up on that now. So
what is it? packhomerpod@gmail.com.
It is.
Yeah, send us some hate mail. Like give us something entertaining. We don't care. Send us anything. I mean, don't send us anything inappropriate. You know, we ain't trying to be complicit in any weird some of you folks might want to send, but send Adam some emails and tell them how sorry a job we're doing. But how do we get our logo on the wall?
The team that's number one right now, the RPI number one team, is the easiest university in the country to get into.
Ole Miss.
I hope our boys listening.
Me too.
The Rebs.
Hey, everybody gets into Ole Miss. That's why so many people in North Carolina leave the state to go to Mississippi.
Yeah.
That's a wild stat, isn't it? What is it? 98?
It is.
98%
acceptance rate. Yeah.
Man.
All right, we'll come back next week with a little better attitude. We'll get Wes, be a little more positive. Be 5-0 after this week, hopefully.
Yeah, and go follow us on the X and the Instagram if you're still listening. I mean, hell, if you're still listening after 53 minutes, you're loyal enough to go follow us. So, go give us a follow on Pack Homer Pod on X and Instagram. You know, we do look like a Mickey Mouse operation when we ain't got about 270 followers. Not that we're putting out, Pulitzer Prize winning content, but
Yeah, if anybody's still listening, if you want tickets to the games, let us know because we can't. I mean, I can't go to the games.
Yeah, I can't go to a game next weekend. So if you
send us a email,
send us a message or an email, we'll get you some tickets. We got what y'all got 10. We got 10 between the two of y'all.
I think that's right.
No, I thought you only got 2.
I got 4. Yeah, 8.
Okay, we got 12.
We got 12.
Yeah.
Princeton's RPI this weekend, they're up to number 23. Their RPI jumped 213 spots.
So their RPI is 23 and ours is 121. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I don't know how all that even works, but it don't matter at this point. I just was shit.
We got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Go Pack.
All right. Go Pack.